Hi everybody, it is Elizabeth Edward with the Crafted Mantel, and I'm so glad you're here today for this awesome event, Turning Trash into Treasure. If you're watching this, you're probably catching the replay, and I hope that you'll hashtag replay below so that I can see that you were here. I'm just gonna make sure I'm all set on my end for technology. I don't want to miss anybody's comments because I love going back. If I don't catch your comment live, because sometimes I get distracted with what I'm doing. But if I don't catch it live, I definitely want to go back and give a comment and thank you for being here. So just double checking, making sure I have you up on my page. Hasn't this been a great event? I hope you've been able to catch the other crafters. If you haven't, definitely go back and catch the replays because there has been some amazing, I mean, they've all been amazing, but there's been some that I've seen. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. I never thought about taking a plastic bottle or aluminum can and turning it into a flower. And I'm going to have to try that because if you're like me, I don't have a green thumb and I tend to kill any of the plants that I buy in the springtime. So my friend Tanya yesterday, that's what she'd made, was this really cool aluminum flower, can flower, which I thought was really great. So I definitely am going to give that a shot for my spring decorating. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see myself here. So let me just make this bigger again so I don't miss any of the comments. So when you've joined, please, there we go. Let me know that you're here. And I just want to see comments. I don't see any comments just yet, but hopefully they will come up on my screen. We'll see. Okay, so thank you again for joining. There's 3 places that you can watch these videos. Again, catch the replays if you haven't had a chance to see them yet. You can find them in the Crafting Network, in the Crafters Hive, and the CCC Crafty Creator Community. So definitely give those groups a follow. There's tons of crafters in there, full of inspiration, which I know I'm always looking for. And also, in my post in the description of this live, there is a link. You can fill it out to win a $25 gift card as a thank you for joining in on this Trash to Treasure event. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. It is 3 o'clock. I have 2 crafts that I'm hoping to get to today. I couldn't decide between the 2, so we're going to just do them both. Hopefully I can get to both of them. But my first craft is very simple. You've probably seen something very similar to this, but do you have extra cartons hanging around? I love the material. It's so just vintage looking. I'm not even going to do anything to this because I love it as is. But what I am going to do is just cut down the edges so that we just have the actual egg carton. Now, if you've been following me, you've seen that in the past I've done some cute crafts with some little bunnies. And so I have a couple bunnies left over and I figured that's what I would do today. These bunnies are absolutely amazing. And oops, if you have a chance, check out my page, The Crafted Mantel. If you go under, I don't know if it's called Reels or Videos, but if you go wherever my videos are, you will see that I have some tutorials for a craft that I did with a muffin tin and these little bunnies. And they are just so cute. The bunnies have so much personality. And I found them on Amazon. I'll definitely put the link in this video when I'm done so that you can see where I got them. I think there were 6 or 7. Hey, Jen. Hey there. Thank you so much for joining. I'm trying to see if I can see my comments over here on my computer, but I'm not seeing them just yet. But I do see them on my phone. So thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate it. But aren't these little bunnies just so adorable? They have such cute faces. And the ones that I used, whoops, I'm doing this whole thing backwards. So it's hard for me sometimes to figure myself out here. And then the last one is this little guy. So cute. They have such cute little faces. And so we're going to use those in this particular craft. Again, these were on Amazon, I think $8.95 for 6 or 7. of those. So very good. So we're going to start with our egg carton. Again, such a simple craft. I did some prep ahead of time. Again, because I do want to do the 2 crafts and I don't want to run out of time because I am a talker. And so I tend to run out of time. But what we're going to do is just take, hey, Tanya, I have a friend whose name is Tanya. And so as soon as I see your name, I think of Tanya, and it's Tanya. So anyway, nice to see you. I enjoyed your craft yesterday. I have some Spanish moss. This one is from Michael's. This one's from Dollar Tree. They're slightly different in color, and they're a little different in texture, but we're going to go with it as is. I probably have more of this one somewhere, but I can't find it. But we're just going to, hey, Terry. How are you today? Happy Sunday. We're just going to fill our little egg pieces with some Spanish moss. And this stuff is so messy, isn't it? Ooh. But we're going to do our best. I think, trying to decide, do I want to use this one or this one? I think I want to use this one only because I did something like this before. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. I'm excited to see what I'm going to do. You never know how these things turn out, right? Hi, Shirley from Virginia. Thank you so much for watching. What part of Virginia are you from? I asked that because my family, my mom's family is from Virginia, and my parents met in DC when they were in college. So I have a little familiarity, I can't say that word, with Virginia. This is really different moss. I've actually never done anything with this reindeer moss before. I guess I have to, oh, it smells. I have to pull it apart a little bit. It doesn't smell bad. It just smells like dried fruit. But anyway. And Vicky, you're watching from Tennessee. Thank you so much. Oh, you just got home from church. Nice. Nice. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy lunch. What are we having? I haven't had lunch yet. I kind of forgot about that. Because I got out of church and I ran to my dad's house because I needed something for my other project that I want to do. And then I realized I needed something else, and so I had to run to Dollar Tree. King George, Virginia. Okay. Very nice. I have family in like the Woodbridge area in like Alexandria. And then my best friend lives out near Lynchburg. So those are the kind of east and west sides that I'm most familiar with. All right. So I'm just kind of ripping this up a little bit, trying to figure out how best to put this in there. So for those of you who are new, Sharon, you're from Iowa. Hi, Tish. Hello. Thank you so much for watching. And Tish is from Nebraska. Wow. We have people from everywhere. I am from Connecticut, and I live in the northeast corner here in Connecticut. We actually are having a beautiful sunny day. The last 2 days have been like torrential winds. All right. I think I've got these kind of broken up. I don't know if I'm going to regret using this green, this moss. We'll see. We will see. That's kind of gross. All right, so all I'm going to do is just put some hot glue in and stuff these babies with moss. That's what we're going to do. Easy, easy, easy. Hey, Vanessa. How are you? So yeah, we've had like torrential wind for the last 2 days, like 55-mile-per-hour winds. And I mean, trees were down. You know, it's so funny. It's like, we have all these storms and trees go down, and then like the next storm comes and more trees go down, and you would think they'd all come down like at once, but they don't. But anyway, the last 2 days have been like kind of crazy with all this wind, and it actually knocked the power out at my dad's house. So I went over there Friday to check on him, and my 87-year-old father was going to man the wood stove in the basement through the power outage, and I said, no, you're not. So there you have it. I'm just gluing little bits of the moss into the pieces here. So I watched my dad go up and down the stairs, and anyone who knows my dad knows he walks like a drunken sailor, though he's not. He was a pastor for 40 some years, but he just is not so steady on his feet anymore. So I immediately said, Dad, you're going to come to my house, and you're going to ride this power outage with me. And so he begrudgingly came with me, and the power didn't come back, so he and my brother spent the night, which I'm so glad that I was able to do that, because it certainly set my mind at ease knowing he was somewhere where there was power, and he was happy he could play his free cell and check his email and have a hot dinner. So that was our weekend. But today the wind has died down and it's beautiful. The sun is out. They had a big road race this morning in town, so that was cool. Oh, you lived in Woodbridge in the 1970s. Okay, my parents were there in like the late 50s. They got married in 58 and they lived there, and then they were there for maybe like 7 years after that. I know it's so much more built up now, but my dad was the pastor of Woodbridge Baptist Church. I think that's what it was called, or First Baptist Church of Woodbridge. I think it's Woodbridge Baptist. No, Grace Baptist maybe. I don't know. I visited years ago. It's a much larger church now, and they have expanded. It was just a little brick church years ago, but now they have a much larger facility. I'll have to ask him what the name of it was because I'm not remembering. But cool, small world. It's in the, oh, I'm sorry, I don't see who said it, but it's cold, 54, but feels like the 40s. Okay, so here we go. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I should work a little faster. We won't get to our second craft. But, yeah, so it's beautiful here today. I'm ready for spring. I love winter because I'm a teacher and I love snow days. But I really do. I'm ready for spring. My demeanor is ready for spring. I'm ready to get out of the dark and get into the light. That's where I'm at. All right, so I'm just filling these with some green Spanish moss. I may have to go back and add some more. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And I'm using my mini glue gun. I probably should have pulled out my big one, but it is what it is. So yesterday, my friend Tanya, as I said, Tanya, thankfully you were able to get your dad under control. You have no idea. I'm glad he got an automatic generator. Oh, it comes with, I know. Heather, when I was taking him home to my home, both his neighbors have generators and you could hear them. And I said, man, Dad, don't you wish you had a generator like your neighbors? Yeah, nope, no generator. And like I said, he was going to go up and down the stairs, throwing logs in the fire every 20 minutes. And I knew I'd find him, you know, falling at the bottom of the stairs. And he doesn't have a life alert. So we weren't going to do that. But anyway, he's learned that there's no point in arguing with me because I will win out in the end. So he just gives in. But I love my dad. He's the best, but he's a stubborn gentleman. But thinking about generators, Heather, I have been thinking lately, and just like in the event that he goes out, I don't even have like a camp stove. Like I don't have any way to like heat up food or anything. So that's something that I know, like I gotta prepare myself, be better prepared. Cause it seems like we lose power here, like in the north, way more than we ever did. Now I don't normally lose power here in Putnam. I don't know if it just happens to be the line that I'm on. I don't know. But it definitely seems like we lose power a lot more frequently. And for storms that we don't think much is going to happen. So I don't know why that's the case, if there's just more trees. And I mean, I know somebody knows why that is, but I don't. All right, I'm glad I chose this moss. This reindeer moss looks, I think is gonna look good. I like the color, it's nice and bright. So we're just trying to fill that in, but I may have to add more. We'll see. I think I'm gonna have to add more. My thought is that you could sit this like this, but I'm probably gonna put mine up like this. that's kind of where I'm headed. So I'm not necessarily looking to have a lot coming off of it. I know I've seen some where people have made them like six of these, like a smaller version, and they have a lot of, like, they have their stuff really high. I'm thinking more so that I'm going to put it like this so that it will display this way. But if you were going to do it like this, you might want more moss so that it comes up to the edge. I hope I'm explaining that well. But I tend to place things on like easels, like displays like that. That's kind of how I display my stuff. I don't have a lot of surface area for setting things on, I guess is. Okay. Yes, Terry, the reindeer moss I got at Dollar Tree. And they have that one that's like really, and I've gotten it before. It's like the Spanish moss. It's like really gray and dusty. And I don't like that as much. So I usually get my regular Spanish moss from Michael's. But this reindeer moss was from Dollar Tree. And this is nice and green. It's very, you know, it's a really nice color. Terry, I liked your craft yesterday too because I have something similar to that, like the caddy with some mason jars actually. And I've been trying to think of what I wanted to do with it. So you gave me some inspiration, which was good. Because I've had it for a while, and I think I bought it at like a secondhand store as well. And whoops, something came out. That came out from here. All right, one more to go, and then we're ready to decorate it. I think this would be a super fun little craft to do with some littles because they could really, you know, like fairy gardens. Like you could totally take this into like a fairy garden route if you were interested. Or even just like, you know, the kids love all those mini little things. You could very easily do something like that. So I think this is because I'm a teacher, I'm always thinking of stuff for kids and easy stuff and inexpensive because Mama's living on a budget. All right, so there we have it. Okay. Doing the spray stuff after the first coat. I'll have to go back and see what you were talking about there. Because I'm not sure. I think I got on late, and I don't know if I saw your whole... I don't think I saw the beginning. And I was in the middle of, like, getting my tack stuff ready. So I was kind of popping on and off because I had to keep going back into my phone to look for different things. So, all right, let me just get rid of this extra debris here. And I went ahead and I did a little prep for this because, again, I know how slow I am and that I talk a lot and things don't get done. So what I did was, I'll show you a couple of the things that I did to prepare for this. These were also from Dollar Tree. You probably have seen them. These like jute rope carrots, and they're adorable, just like this. I think they look great. They're a little too big for my project. So what I did was I cut them down. I took the tips off, the bottoms off, and then I just added some of this green that I also found at Dollar Tree because I thought it made it a little more realistic, but I love them as they are. So what I thought I would do is I can glue a few of these in so they look like they're sprouting up. So that's one thing. Again, we have our cute little bunnies that we can glue in. Now, I will say the bunnies are a little big, but we're going to position them so that it works. So, like, see, we can add a bunny. Then I also found these at Dollar Tree. Look at these jute. What are these? Eggs. Eggs. And they come on... They were $1.25 for 4, and they come with picks. So I might actually use something similar for my second project. So you can use them as a pick, but I just cut the picks off. So I have that. And then I have just a few these I got at Michael's. They were picks, just like little, I don't know what are they called? Doesn't even say, just says pick. They're almost like, I don't know, little berries, little, I don't know what these are, but we're going to use those. So I have pink, yellow, and white. And then I have just some random, you know, little florals that I've pulled off some different things. So I think that's what we're gonna, oh, and I have some greens. Okay, these greens are from Dollar Tree as well. So let's just map it out first and kind of see what we've got going on here. So I'm just gonna kind of spread out. I don't want all of my you know, things to be like on top of each other. So let's map it out first. Oh, you know what I could do? These little bunnies are so adorable. I just absolutely love them. Just look at that face. So cute. All right, so just gonna kind of map this. Put that one here. I don't know. Maybe you gotta put Jewel. You definitely have to go on this side. So you need to go over here, you need to go over here. Because of how they're looking, they kind of have to go the direction of their head. And then we have our little eggs. I feel like these eggs might be a little too large. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the eggs are too large. I think they are. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. We're going to wait on the eggs. Okay. Where's my moss? I think we are going to have to add a little bit of moss in as we go, but at least we have you really need to be over here. And then we have a bow that we're going to add. Okay. All right, we're committing. Thank you, Terry. I do. The eggs are too big. The eggs are too big. And you know, the funny thing is, I had some eggs I used last year and I can't find them. And I don't think I used them all. You think the bunnies are too small? I don't know. I think the bunnies are going to work. I may just have to add a little moss behind them so they pop up. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe that's what I need to do. So let me just decide which ones the bunnies are going to go into, and let me add some more moss behind it. And maybe that will be good. That way they're not like right inside the carton, but they're kind of like popping out of the carton. Maybe that will work. And then that will sit nicely. All right, let's see. It's so nice to have the sun coming through the window. I have so many windows in my house. It's just so nice. It feels so good. All right, so you'll see I'm going to put a bunny in this one, and I added a little bit more height there. And he'll kind of sit out a little bit. Let's see what happens. Hey, we're going to glue him. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Okay, we're going to glue you right here. Oops. Another glue stick. So has anyone been up to anything fun this weekend? I wish I could say I was, or I had been. But yesterday I worked on taxes. And then I actually did something. I wasn't expecting to do it, but it's like I started and then I could not stop. I deleted like 2,000 emails in my inbox. It felt so good. These were like emails from like 14 years ago. And that's not like me. If you know me, and if my friend Pam Cody was on here, she would attest to this. I am like, all right, so here we go. Here's our first bunny glued in. Okay. So I kind of pushed him out a little bit and glued him in. So I'm going to do that with the others too. If you saw my work email, like I do not let emails build up at all in my work email. Actually, if I put that on top there, like that, we may need just a bunny here and a bunny here. Okay, just had to pick where I was putting my bunnies. I don't let emails sit in my inbox. Everything gets sorted, filed, done. Like it is a to-do list in my opinion. Everything has a place, a home, a file, or delete. And I try to do that with my personal email too, but I don't know what happened. There was like 10 years in there where I just let things go a little nuts. So yesterday I sat and I did that and it felt so good. So that was unexpected to do. I know I love deleting emails, Terry. Yes. And there were some emails from things like, I mean, things I had planned years ago, like with church and stuff. And it was like, you know, like, it was nice just to get rid of it because, you know, it's something off your plate, right? You don't have to do that. And, but it brought back memories of, oh yeah, I remember when we did that. Oh, that was fun. You know, things like that. So it was cool. And, so yeah, that felt really good yesterday. Put a little bit more right there. All right, so now this bunny's gonna go down. And he's a little discolored there, so we're gonna cover that up. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, he's 22, Heather. That's crazy. That makes me feel really old. Where did you guys go to eat? Do you go to Grill 37? I know that's like one of your favorite places to go. And we're just gonna add a little bit more back here to hold this guy down. Okay. Last one. And then we can decorate with our other fun greens. Another glue stick. Oh, you know what? I must have glued this bag because they're all sticking together. All right. Where was I going to put this one? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. So needed. And what a great way to serve as a group, right? I find the best way to build relationships with people, like in your community, in your church, is serving, you know? It's great to sit around and have Bible study, and we need that, but the best way to really get to know people is serving alongside them. So that's awesome that you guys were able to do that. It really builds community. That's great. All right, last bunny. I probably should put my heat glue gun back in here. Let it warm up a little bit more. Okay. Oh, these bunnies, I just love these bunnies. He needs a little glue under his tushy there. There we go. All right. I know my friends down south, you guys are, you're headed into like spring break already, right? Just give these guys a little more. Oh, no, I guess he's all right. No, I guess it's okay. Grill 37, he wanted Friendly's, so we went there and they had a 45-minute. I know, Friendly's is always like so long. Oh, so then you went to Applebee's. All right, so there we have our 3 bunnies. Cute, cute. Now you could distress this, you know, you could add whitewash or like, what do you call it? Dry brushing. I like it as is. I just like that natural look. So that's what I'm going with. All right, so we're gonna put maybe we're just gonna use two carrots, not 3. All right. So like I said, I already cut off the bottoms. And I'm going to put these in here and then add just a little moss around the bottom. Just to make sure that they look like they're kind of coming up there. Applebee's is good though. Did you get baby back ribs? That's what I always think of with Applebee's. And also the Office episode with baby back ribs. But anyway. All right, let's just add a little moss around the bottom just so it looks like it's coming up out of it. This moss kind of reminds me of broccoli. I was thinking about doing something with a tin can, but I saw that so many people were doing tin cans that I pivoted as I was watching yesterday. All right, we're going to add a little bit back here. Okay. There we go. And we need a little bit more over here. I love tin can projects. I have this amazing huge can from work that I've been hanging on to. It's like a gigantic jelly can. And I can't wait to do something with that. All right. Oops. Oops. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's our, now remember, like I said, I'm going to display this standing up. But if you were displaying it like this, you would definitely want some more moss or, straw, whatever you're going to use, so that, and obviously your bunnies would be standing up, not lying down. But I'm planning to display it like this. Okay. So let's just get a little bit of that glue out of the way. Oh, thank you, Tanya. You're sweet. 3-cheese penne with grilled chicken. That sounds delicious. That sounds really good. And it was a cool, breezy day, so that hit the spot, I'm sure. Nice. Pasta is always a comfort food for sure. Okay, so now we're going to add in our little doohickeys. And I'm not going to use these now that I'm doing this, but just to show you some other things that you could do. Like I have these little birds. These were from Michael's. But you could, they might be a little more fall color. The yellow one could work. I could add the yellow. And then I also have like ladybugs and then these awesome bees. So if you didn't want to do this like with an Easter theme, you could easily make this a summer with like little bees and add those in. I'm not going to use that for this, but just another idea. All right, so I'm going to add some greens and then we'll add in our little florals and the little flowers that we have, and then it's done. That's all we have to do. So just cut these, cut and glue. And this is when you can kind of let your creativity fly of how you want to decorate. And that's why I think kids would love this, because it's just like, you could do like little fairy ones. I did look at Dollar Tree to see like what they had for like fairy items. They don't have a whole lot that's this small, but at Michael's, and I'm sure like Hobby Lobby and places like that, you can find, you know, the little minis that are sized for a, you know, sized for a egg crate. What is this? Egg carton? It's not a crate, it's a carton. I'm getting glue. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right. I really want to get to our second craft. Oh, that didn't work. Stand up. Okay. Thank you very much, Tish. I appreciate that. Oops. Okay, so we've got some greens. Now let's add in some of these little flowers. And I did cut them down, but I think I'm going to cut them down just a little bit more. Right. I love these little, I don't know what you call them, but they're just like little let's see, white, yellow. We're gonna put another white here. They're like little beads, I guess. I'm sure somebody will tell me what they're really called. Okay. So we have that. Okay, we have added the little, little green foliage in the background and then the little flowers. And then we can just add in this little purple, little pop. I think these I have to cut down just a little bit more. We got glue strings everywhere, ladies. Everywhere. Okay. I'm gonna have to take my heat gun to that to get rid of them. Okay, so you have this one over here, needs to kind of come up a little bit. Okay. So again, super, super easy. I don't know if I'm gonna add in any other flowers. I think I might just leave it as is for right now. I think I'm gonna leave it as is. When I start messing, that's when things go south. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do is I have this little, well, I have this bow, so let me add the bow. I made it ahead of time because I'm not a bow person. And so it takes me a while. So I had to make it in advance. Because it takes me a while. And I know that teal, that the blue, the greenish one is not necessarily a color that's in it, but I'm okay with that. So we have that. I'm going to separate that there. And then I was thinking, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to add this after all. I was thinking I would write like bunny patch or something on here. I know people always say carrot patch. But I don't know if I want to do that now. Blossoms, buds, blooms like flowers before they open. There you go. They're buds. That's what it is. They're little buds. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Let's say, we're going to just say bunny patch, I think. What's this color? No. Oh, and I just got it on here. Oops. This is just a chalkboard from Dollar Tree, and I just I dry brush some off-white parchment paint on it just to kind of make it look a little more in line with the colors. I'm not great when it comes to like handwriting. It already bled. I may not add this. I don't think I will. Maybe I'll do something different. But I was trying to come up with like maybe I'll do something different, but I'm not going to add that right now. I'm not great when it comes to that. But here's our first craft. Okay. You may like the bow, maybe you don't. Maybe you think it's too big. I like it. But that's our first one. Super cute. Just a little scene with the egg carton. So that's number one. Let's go to number two. I'm really excited about this one. I actually saw this video yesterday and I'm like, I want to do that. It just looks so cool. Maybe you've seen it too. But I had to stop at home and find an old book because I didn't have an old book. So this is Introduction to Music, and it's my mother's old book. So the craft it's a beautiful flower vase using a book. Has anyone seen that video? So I think what you do is you kind of look for the middle of the book because you want it to be able to stand up. And if it doesn't stand, it would help if I had a flat surface. Then you could always put this in an easel, okay? My table splits there, so it doesn't stand. But that's probably about the middle. So then, but we're going to take out a couple pages because that's not a great page for, okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take about, I want to say they did 10 of these, and each one had 5 pages. So we need 25 pages on each side. Is that right? 10 times 5 is 50, right? Math isn't my strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And if it's not exactly, right, it doesn't, it's okay. It's just you want it to be somewhat even. So that is 25 on this side. And then we're going to cut it in half. and we're gonna rip out the top. Okay. This is why you want a book that you are gonna throw away or get rid of. And I just lost my count. But we're just gonna eyeball it. We're gonna guess. If I don't get 5, if I do 4, that'll be fine. And it's all right if this is messy here because you're going to cover it with flowers. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. This book has like pictures of old composers in it. And there's one that looks like Adam Brody. Is that his name? Adam Brody? No, who's the guy who was in The Pianist? Adrian Brody, right? There's one that looks like him. All right, so I marked it this time. So I'm just cutting these in half. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I saw this video and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. And I love old books. I love, you know, decorating with old books. So I thought, oh, this would be a really cool thing to try. And I was thinking I was going to have to go buy a book. But then I remembered my mom, who has passed away, had so many books in her office. I do need a few more from this side. I'll go about right there. That I could just go take one. So that's what I did. All right, so here we go. Whoops. All right, so once you have, yes, you've seen it too. I know, wasn't that so cool? So I just ripped this page. Whoops. Okay. So once you have the bottom half cut, you're going to take like I said, I think she counted 5. That's what she counted out. And I have not tried this yet, guys. So we're gonna do it together. So you take like 5 pieces, and then you're going to, you know, oops, glue it down into the book like this. Okay. Whoops. Ooh. What side does it roll on? The only problem is tape runner. With the old books, they can, the tape doesn't, what am I doing wrong? Am I going upside down? Well, that one didn't work. The tape runner is like ripping the paper. Okay, let's try it now. I may have to use a glue stick, which I don't want to, but the paper, here's what's happening. This paper has a little bit of a coating on it. And that's what's pulling on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'm gonna have to use a glue stick. But I think it'll work, right? You guys think it'll work? And then what I have to do is I should do both sides. So then that will stick in there and it will stick to the next one. All right, improvising on the fly. So if you pick a paper, a book, or I should say a book that has paper that has like a glossy kind of paper, this strip may not work. It could be the brand that I have. right? All right, we got 12 minutes. Can I do it? I think I can do it. All right, here we go. So we're just gonna use the glue stick and I'm gonna just put it on both sides and then we're just folding it down. I'll show you guys right now. See how we're making those little pockets? Okay. So we're making, this is gonna be kind of neat because it's a music book, it has like the sheet music in it too. So this is kind of a cool, it's not just text. Okay. 3, 4, 5, and I'm counting out 5, putting that strip of glue, and I'm also putting one on the other side too, just for a little extra. Oops. Okay. So here we're going, or here's what we're doing so far. 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you are throwing out any books or going to a yard sale or thrift store and you see like an old book, I like the color of this book. I love that kind of color. That's one thing that caught my eye too from my mom's shelf. And if you look up, I don't know if you can see, here I have a couple, ooh, where is it? Over here I have some old books and they are like this like kind of bluish and then like a green. And I just love how they look. Oops. Okay, so we got that. And I'm going to add a little more here so that sticks to that. All right, we're almost done. I might finish early. Usually I'm like right on the edge, like counting down to the last minute, but I might actually finish early today. Super proud of myself. And there's so many great crafters to come. I think my friend Brenda is coming up. And there's so many other ones. So definitely, if you have time today, check out all of the crafters. Go back and watch the replays. We all would appreciate it. If there's a crafter that you really enjoyed, definitely give them a follow. They will appreciate your support for sure. I think I'm going to have enough for 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad we got to do this. Okay. Last one. All right. Let's see. So here you have your book. You have your little openings here that you can put your florals in. Oops, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. That didn't go in all the way. And I missed some on this side. Huh. All right, let me fix this. Whoops. Go down. I gotta do it this way. Okay, here we go. think I got them all. All right, so here we have the book with like the vase here. And I have this really pretty floral pick. This was from Michael's. It's actually a summer pick, but it's like one where it all comes together. And I love these because, again, putting things together sometimes, like, does that color go? Does that go? And when you get it when it's already, ooh, ouch. When you get it when it's already kind of put together, then you kind of can play with it. But I'm just going to take off this raffia tie. There we go. Oh, and now there's tape underneath. I've had this one for a while, so I don't know if this exact combination you could find again, but they probably have ones that are super, super similar every season. And then you're just going to, let's see if I can do this backwards. Just going to put your florals in. We might have to, cut them down. But we're just going to, you just put them in through the, quite can't see what I'm doing. Just kind of put it into those little pockets. Need a pink over here. Did I lose the purple? I did. I don't know, ladies. Doing things backwards is not necessarily my forte. Hold on. I have to turn this. Oh, I missed a few spots. All right. And if you wanted to, kind of make this for Easter, I do have, I totally missed some of these little pockets. There we go. Okay. I do have, these are from Michael's as well, but they have these beautiful fabric colored eggs. So you could easily add those eggs in, or if the, well, that color doesn't work. These eggs that I got from Michael's, from Dollar Tree, if you wanted to make this an Easter kind of craft, you could add those in. Okay, those little eggs. And I have a purple. And then the other thing that I found at Michael's, which I thought was super cute, are these little bunnies. And you could definitely, again, if you wanted to make this an Easter display, you could add in a bunny. So something like this, okay? Something. You could add the eggs, add the bunny to make it Easter, or just leave it with the florals by itself. Isn't that a great idea? I'm gonna put it up so you guys can really see the, I just love how this makes that container, right? The other thing I was thinking of, and this was my other thought, was you could take, let me grab it. If you didn't want to do, I have 2 minutes. If you didn't want to do this, you could cut the pages in half, rip out the bottom, take a smaller tin can, right? And maybe even a smaller one than this, paint this, and then kind of glue that in the middle, and it could be your little vase in the middle of the book. Or you could even take some of the ripped paper and Mod Podge that over and have that in the middle if you wanted to, you know, do a little something different. So a couple ideas there, but I love this. I'm going to play with it, and I'll definitely post a picture on my page. I hope you'll give my page a follow, The Crafted Mantel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for being so patient while I did my 2 little crafts. And I hope that they inspired you and that they'll give you some ideas for things that you can do. Again, great craft for the littles in your life to make their own little bunny garden or fairy garden in an egg carton, and then taking a little book and turning it into a vase. I love it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know it would be really cool to hold it. Thank you. Tanya, I did it. Yay. I just woke up a cat, but yeah, I'm super happy about this. So thanks guys for hanging out. I hope that you will stay tuned for the other crafters. Have a great day.